How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Sunday Bible Study. And how we've been doing. Um, yeah, this is Sundays. Just want to make sure. So we got 16 views, 8 views, 17 views, 14 views. As I've been saying, we don't ever get, of course, hang on. Want to make sure I didn't speak too soon. We never get comments. And also, uh, never get thumbs up, but we seem to get a lot of views. So how's it going, everybody? Who or what? There's a thumbs up. Well, there you go. Now, because I kind of feel like the AI just hides the channel and but I'm putting it on my Facebook, but who is actually watching these? But lo and behold, we just got a thumbs up. Listen to the excitement in my voice. What day what day was that? And that was pretty sure that was the Saturday study. But no thumbs up. There you go for Friday. And that's pretty much the norm, right? That's what I'm trying to say. It's like who is watching the channel? Who would watch a Bible study and not give it a thumbs up or make a comment or something? So I always feel like it's possible that the false preachers are who's dialing in, but um we did get a thumbs up. So and if the AI is the ghost of the machine, which I will tell you it is, the Holy Spirit is also able to do anything, and of course, more so than even the AI can in your technology. That's why I think certain people have found my channel that don't know me. So anyway, rambling on, I did look up tariffs in gematria comes to 79, which is the same as sword, because the Antichrist, woe to the idle shepherd, the sword shall be upon, his right eye, the Bible verse talks about. Same with Revelation 13:3, the first time deadly wound is mentioned, had a deadly wound by the sword, but did live. And 79 is also murder. And there it is. So tariffs, sword, murder. And of course, the Antichrist gets murdered, even though it's the twin. So, and Trump tariffs comes to Phoenix Rising, Elvis Presley. It's very interesting to look at that. And it is a match in the Jewish as Alexander the Great. And we remember how in the Super Bowl commercial for Pizza Hut, he said, Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Donald Trump, we're all cut from the same cloth. And you're talking about the seven kings of Mystery Babylon through antiquity. Nebuchadnezzar and Darius the Mede being the first two. Seven kings, five are fallen. Those two were not fallen. So, anyway, very interesting to me. Did you find that interesting? Give us a thumbs up. Or actually leave in a comment, because maybe I'll think the thumbs up is about the Bible study. All right, we'll continue on a New Living Translation. Each time he said, my grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. So now I am glad to boast about my weaknesses, so that the power of Christ can work through me. That's why I take pleasure in my weaknesses and in the insults and hardships and persecutions and troubles that I suffer for Christ. For when I am weak, I am strong. You made me act like a fool. You ought to be writing condemnations for me, for I am not at all inferior to the superior or to these super apostles, which, if I'm not mistaken, is his slang term for these false teachers. I am become a fool in glorying ye have compelled me, for I ought to have commended of you, for in nothing am I behind the very chiefest apostles, though I be nothing. I don't think he means the 12 apostles. Um, Truly, the signs of an apostle were wrought among you in all patience and in signs and wonders and mighty deeds. For what is it where we were inferior to other churches, except it be that I myself was not burdensome to you? Forgive me this wrong. And then in the NLT, it says, when I was with you, I certainly gave you proof that I am an apostle, for I patiently did many signs and wonders and miracles among you. The only thing I failed to do, which I do in other churches, was become a financial burden to you, because forgive me for this wrong, sarcasm. Now I am coming to you for the third time, and I will not be a burden to you. I don't want what you have, I want you. After all, children don't provide for their parents, rather, parents provide for their children. I will gladly spend myself and all I have for you, even though it seems that the more I love you, the less you love me. Some of you admit I was not a burden to you, but others still think I was sneaky and took advantage of you by trickery. Because earlier, Paul talked about the other apostles as being false teachers, if I'm not mistaken, right? So when he said these super apostles, but remember, I felt myself wrong because I felt like when he mentioned that word apostle, that he was speaking of himself not being as as worthy as the other 12 that walked with Jesus. And yet, so I want to go to, let's do the plural apostles. And let's go down and filter down to 2 Corinthians, where it is used 3 times. For I suppose I was not whipped behind the very chiefest apostles, for such are false apostles. So let's get into that more abundantly. 2 Corinthians 5 through 13. For I suppose I was not a whit behind the chiefest apostles. And when we look at that in the New Living, not that it's correct, because it is a corrupted text. We'll just do a little inspection. But I don't consider myself inferior in any way to these super apostles who teach such things. I may be unskilled as a speaker, but I am not lacking in knowledge. We have made this clear to you every possible way. Then he comes down and he says, but these people are false apostles. I was wrong when I humbled myself in honor by preaching the good news of God before you, expecting anything in return to the churches, but I will continue in doing what I've always done. We're in 2 Corinthians 12 today. And when we did the search, Yeah, it had today's study in it. That's what it was. So who is he talking about when he says super apostles? Because later on he says false apostles, but that could have shifted to a different conversation. Um, and he's basically talking about the same thing about money here in Second Corinthians 11 as he did in today's study in Second Corinthians 12. We begin the chapter. Maybe it'll help me with context. Paul and the false apostles. Okay. Well, I should have done that from the beginning. So the super apostles are false preachers. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. So it's just his solid sarcasm. All right. And the four great beasts came up out of the sea, diverse from one another. The first was like a lion and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet of a man, and a man's heart was given to it. And behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had three ribs in its mouth, and in between the teeth of it. And they said to thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. And after this beheld, and lo, another like unto a leopard, and had upon the back of it four wings of a fowl. And the fourth beast had also four heads, and dominion was given to it. After this, I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. Well, this is the iron mixing with clay that you begin to, or the Iron Kingdom in Nebuchadnezzar's statue. Excuse me, Nebuchadnezzar's dream of the statue um, in Daniel 2. It had devoured and break into pieces and stamped the residue with its feet, and it was diverse from all the other beasts before it, and it had 10 horns. So I think this is the iron mixing with clay, or what it's talking about is the Great Tribulation beginning. And I considered the horns and behold, another one came up among the little horn, and the little horn is the Antichrist. Everybody knows that. That's, in other words, no, there's no argument with any preachers about that. When you search the internet, you'll have that proven out. Before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, in this horn, the Antichrist, were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things, make America great again. Everything that comes out of his mouth is great, whether it's tariffs or anything else. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like a fiery flame, and wheels as a burning fire. So throughout this, I have here in the gold or yellow, however you're seeing it, this is God winning. So this Daniel 7 will go back and forth between the Antichrist, um, Great Tribulation, and then which God, of course, has ordained all of that. And then God winning will be in the yellow or the gold. I'm glad you're here. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.